Anyways, this is not going to be a serious one.
I mean, it's got to be somewhat serious, but
Okay.
yeah, you're setting the tone right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here drinking coffee like a responsible adult.
Or how the rest of the night's going to be. Damn, this is more ice. Anyway,
Anyway, what are we talking about tonight?
hi guys, welcome back. I know you guys can't get rid of us, can you?
We're
Um, Tell them what we're talking about. I got to grab an ashtray.
talking about necromancy.
Talking about Conjuring Casper from the
Con- Conjuring Casper, which is such a cute, like, the imagery is very cute. But the you're gonna see that the thumbnail's not so cute. It's very misleading.
It's a very, we got a cutesy title and not such a cutesy thumbnail.
Which I mean, the thumbnails lately have been hitting. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
no problem.
Actually, I think you chose this thumbnail.
Oh, you know what I did? Because I went to work for a whole day, and so we still managed to get everything organized.
I feel like I went to work all day.
You should.
No, really, though.
No, you did.
What did I do?
You were remote viewing work.
Exactly. I was there washing a white dog that was bigger than me. Like, it was a whole mess.
The Great Pyrenees, and that was a small one.
That was a small one?
That they get twice that size in the males. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what dog I want.
You want a cute little puppy?
No. Well, I mean, yes, but depends on what people think is cute and little. Anyway, yeah, so I need my notebook. We're talking, guys.
We're cute and little.
Yeah, we're someone else's puppy.
Bitch, I ain't nobody's puppy.
You're Alan's puppy.
I'm Alan's demon.
Well, right.
Demon in human/dog form. I guess you could damage, bitch.
What are you doing? Didn't they teach you when you were like 4 not to do that at restaurants? This isn't my drink. This is the Big Red.
Yeah. Didn't they teach you not to do that when you were 4?
Probably. No, I was blowing bubbles in the drink when I was 4.
You don't do that now?
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
The chocolate milk?
Oh, I don't drink chocolate milk. Hot chocolate.
You don't.
Choke on it. Choke on it.
Rowan.
Shut up, Rowan. Glad to know our watchers are also on some other shit. So, yeah. Oh my god, I got my juice.
Dribbles.
All right. So we're here to discuss a couple of things about necromancy. So this is going to be a 10 episode, we think, blowing bubbles. Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Honey. James. Kevin.
Yes.
You might want to look behind you. It's the scene with the ladies. There's always some kind of weird sexual shit going on in our videos.
I didn't realize this.
And I'm like, oh, hello, hot darn. This is a necromancy. Fuck.
Hey, Debbie.
Hey.
Don't look behind my head, please.
At least.
Huh? I can't. I need to.
At least your hair's covering it like mine was the other night.
I need to turn off my TV. I just can't get up. I guess every scene is a bad scene.
Is it? There you go.
I wonder if. How do I turn off this? Okay. Well, this might be a good scene.
Maybe just change the channel.
There.
There you go.
What an image to pause on.
Whew. Anywho.
So, yes, Dead episode series on all things necromancy. We're gonna discuss definitions, meanings behind words, how we interplay with these things. Not play, that was a bad word, but how we use these things, how we go about doing said things, and just talk on a bunch of things. We're gonna range all the way to like graveyard etiquette, conjurations of spirits and entities, deciphering what is what, sigils, seals. We're going to go over offerings, consecrated land, working with them, working in graveyards. We're going to cover a shit ton. Not in this video, though. In this video, we're just going to cover just some basic things, basic information about necromancy.
Slow start. It's going to be a slow burn.
So I'll just start real quick with the definition of what exactly necromancy is, because we hear that word used a lot, especially in Hollywood and movies and stuff. So I just want to give out the real definition out there about what necromancy is. And necromancy, not being so scary, necromancy is just the form, the practice of communicating, working with, and maybe even building relationships, but communicating with spirits of the dead through magic or divination, often summoning spirits as visions or apparitions, especially to predict the future and do fortune telling and stuff like that. Again, using it for divination. And I'm gonna throw in also maybe witchcraft as well. But.
I mean, I think. Well, I guess maybe not everybody does
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
well,
what
no.
No.
I mean, like we.
I want to talk for you. Speak.
I'm trying. I feel like I know at least 2 or 3 for sure, that don't even like to say the word necromancy in their practice, or try their best not to practice necromancy, or not by that definition.
Right.
Because it's scary, or
Right.
evil, or dark.
Or it comes off as forcing, commanding. And that's another thing we're going to discuss in this video, that nothing of the sorts when it comes to necromancy. I'm also going to give definitions on conjuring, conjuration, and summonings. None of these, I will state off, first off, that none of these have anything to do with going against the spirit's will or going to, like, forcing them to do anything. It is all up to them and with their permission. And we're also going to go into how you can know when you have their permission to do things or not, or how to go about asking for that kind of thing.
Right.
So with that being said, with that definition alone with necromancy, I'm also going to give out the definition for conjuration, which is a magical incantation or a magical spell. We all, as witches, we know that very well. We understand that to be conjuration or witchcraft. Conjuring is to make something up. I got so dark.
There you did.
Conjuring is to make something appear as if by magic or via magic, and summoning is the simple act of calling out to something or calling to something. Like when we're doing magic and we call out to Hecate to be with us in her sacred rite, and under whatever ritual or spell or whatever thing that we're doing, we call out to Hecate, we summon Hecate. So with those definitions out there, understand none of those goes against anybody's will. Cressa, do you practice any of these things in your own personal craft?
Lightly, yes.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm heavy on. Well, let me say this. I'm going to stick with lightly, but also they do play a part in a lot of stuff that we do. So it's
not a show, but it's part of the show.
Yeah. It's and sometimes you do it not even thinking about it. Like when you're like spell work, whatever, and you have in the back of your head, like you're trying to, ask someone to lend you aid or whatever that's passed on, or an ancestor or whatever. But, well, I mean, that's down the line
Yeah,
in this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it does play a part in my practice. It's not the main focus necessarily,
but
but
it
it
is.
is part. Yeah. What about you? What about you? What about you?
Absolutely. For me, I'm a very one of the things I say that I can get my source of power from is via the spirits or the ancestors or gods, whatever it is, otherworldly spirits, if not just spirits of the dead and spirits of the land. So a lot of the times, like what I'm doing, any type of spell work or ritual work or whatever the case is, I like to start off by summoning the spirits or the gods and having them come forth. And sometimes, and then another thing I know Homegirl wanted to touch on is the difference between summoning and invoking.
Hmm.
So sometimes I'll do both. Sometimes I'll do one or the other. In my opinion, invoking is the act of harnessing. Okay, if I'm to invoke Hecate, I'm to harness the power, the magic, the strength, the might of Hecate, amplify that within myself, and utilize it through me, and have that harnessed through me and channel it through me. While summoning is the act of calling out to her for her to appear here in this space and to be with me herself.
Hmm. Hmm.
What you
Hmm.
what you think?
Well, I think we talked about it earlier, but like, in thinking about it since then, like, or maybe I'm still in the same thought process. It it's very dependent. I find, like, if I look back on everything that I do, it's very dependent on what I'm doing and how I'm utilizing it. And I think sometimes I'm doing both and not realizing.
Right.
Like, for heavy spells or heavy spell work or heavy divination, or sometimes even just meditation. Not like necessarily to guide me in my meditation, but like, don't let me get lost. Like, I need
Yeah.
your light. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Sometimes I'll definitely ask them for guidance in my meditation.
yeah,
Even because even when you don't know or don't expect something to happen or get told something, it'll be in that moment. You know what I mean? Like when I first met Hecate in the other world, I wasn't expecting that to happen, but it happened. There was reasons for it to happen and a need for it to happen. I just didn't know it was going to. So, but
no, yeah, go, no, I love listening to you talk.
no, no, that was it. That was it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That was
Um,
it. Sorry to cut you off.
I Okay, this is gonna sound bad to me, right? I never looked up the definition of those two before tonight, and I still technically didn't. You did, but um, I do find that I tend to be wishy washy with it, and I need to focus more on what I'm saying or how I'm presenting to get maybe,
Your
possibly,
intention.
yeah, a
Uh,
more clear, concise thing. And
right.
I'm gonna be the bigger person and say I probably need to fix that.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't even come up as a thought until another brings it up.
True.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, let's be honest, we're all doing things. Maybe if we knew something more about a situation, maybe we would be doing things differently. But it's
True.
all, this is just a path of all learning. We're never going to know everything about this. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to. And that's why I love and enjoy the times when I do learn something and then I can improve my craft from that experience.
And it's like you're constantly learning.
Yeah, that's what I love about this craft, about this path. That's one of the reasons why I still follow it because it's something where, I mean, I'm always like the biggest suspect in the room. You know what I mean? Like I don't just believe anything. You know what I mean? I always gotta take things apart, pick at it, and try to find a rational explanation before I'm like, okay, that was something crazy.
Hmm.
But
You're
there's times when it's definitely something crazy. Like the experience I had at an abandoned place that I recently told you about, and
hmm
hearing things upstairs.
hmm and there was no upstairs.
And there was no upstairs. You can't. Well, there was upstairs. You just had no access to the upstairs.
Right.
They ripped out the store, like the stairs. There was absolutely no way you could have gotten up there. But people were up there.
People.
Where's? Okay. Well, you know what I mean.
Well, and I'm not being a smart ass like spirit.
No,
There's
yeah,
spirit activity.
yeah. Um, so now going back to what I said about like, okay, yeah, there's you don't want to force any spirits or anything like that. That's not cool. How do you know when you have their permission? Like, Carson, how do you know? Like, have you ever gone up to something to ask, hey, can I harvest something, or can I, like, can I harvest this plant, this bark, this dirt, this water, whatever the case is? Can I do my spell work here? Have you ever like went up to a spirit, asked permission, and got rejected? Or
Yes
not?
and
Yes.
yes and no. And it happened in the graveyard, but it
Okay.
wasn't in the graveyard. It was like we talked about. I was on the outskirts,
Uh-huh.
and I needed to place something, and I was promptly told no. Like, and it wasn't like if somebody comes to you and says, no, you can't do that. It was more like my little scoop shovel thing hit the ground and I got a jolt of, ooh, this is probably not a good idea. Like an intuition based, like, yeah, today's not the day or this is not the spot. And
Right.
it ended up being today was not the day. Because every spot I went to that day, it was absolute no. However, it was my old one. One near mom and I have one at home. And it was the one near mom that I had collected from numerous times. I had put things there numerous times. Today or that day was not the day.
Mhm.
Now, a week, 2 weeks later, I think it was 2 weeks later, because my mom lived about an hour and a half from me. And it was fine. Everything was cool. But I ended up doing what I had to do in a different location that I'd never used before, and it was fine. But that day, it was a no go, and it
Right.
was like absolute. There was no questioning. Although I did keep trying, but I gave up at like third, fourth attempt.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you the same thing, the same question for how do you know when it's a yes? But before I do that, let me explain a time where I've been told no. Because I've told you about it,
Yeah.
I think a few times, but there was one time I like this thing. I collect soundwind bark, which is bark collected from your world tree, collected on the night of Samhain, right? And yeah, everybody's world tree is different to their own. For me, it is the oak tree, and so there was an oak tree right in my driveway, and I was like, perfect place, perfect time. How could I get a no when it's on my land? I go up to the tree with arms wide open to give it a big hug before I ask anything. And as soon as I walk up into this energetic field, I felt like two magnets like pushing away. I felt like a push back and was, yeah, no, please, or like, I forgot what it said, like, please don't, or just whatever the case. It was just a straight no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like put off by it. I was like, okay, I'll
Yeah, it
walk
hurts
away.
your feelings.
Huh?
Hurts your feelings.
It did. Because that was the first time I've ever been told no, which not to sound like a fucking
I
brat.
was thinking it, but you were about to, yeah. You don't hear that a lot, do you?
Sound like a brat.
You are a brat.
He said, "Boy, you got cooties." Shut up. I don't know what was wrong with that tree. I don't know, but so I just was like, okay, fine. You don't want my hug. You don't want my love. You don't want my offerings. I'll go find another tree that does, and I did. And it was a very nice tree, but damn, and that tree is still in my driveway, and I still don't think it wants to mess with me. But it just right up. So it's okay, and I'm okay, and I'll explain that after. Now, tell me what it's like when you get a yes from spirit.
Um, let's see. Physically, like physical reaction is pleasant. So if I'm going to do something or need something or give something or take something, like because they can tell you no for all of those situations. I've been told no for an offering before, which also hurts your freaking feelings. but it could just be the offering you're giving is not what they want or not what they require. It's actually not very personal at all. It's
No,
just
yeah.
right.
Maybe they feel personal.
Right. It did. Yeah. But like an okay. So the best absolute yes are feathers for me.
Hmm.
Like I think multiple times I've been somewhere and in that particular place, just a feather will fall. You know what I mean? And to me, that some people might take that as a no, but to me,
Right.
that's a yes. And then it's also just that feeling that
That feeling that goes along with what happens, and
yeah,
that's when something is something like a message from the divine or just something mundane. It's that
mhm,
feeling that goes along with it. Normally, other people would see that and not feel anything and would just think, "Oh, beautiful feather," or a feather falls, and it's just something overcomes you, and it's just that intuition that's telling you.
yeah, and sometimes I mean I've had situations where the little feather doesn't fall, and I still because I
Mhm.
look for it now. It happens so many times. You begin to look at your signs for what they are. And I've had instances where I don't get that, but I still get that warm feeling
Right.
of being welcomed to do what I'm about to do or take or leave or whatever. But it's definite. Like there's not a question about it. You get an overwhelming sense of they're pleased to see you.
Hmm. Hmm.
What about you?
Um. So a lot of the times I've noticed it'll be okay. So it'll be either dead silent or like everything will be just be very dead and still. And then I'll do my thing and ask for permission, and all of a sudden the winds will pick up. I will start to hear animals. Animals will start to appear, whatever the case is. I'll pay attention to the weather and the natural elements and like animals and everything behind the environment of where I am to see what's going on and pick up messages that way. Sometimes it'll be like a hand on the shoulder or a hand on the hand. Um, a lot of the times, if it's already a windy day, and I can't tell via that way. There'll be other ways again, whether it's some sound, maybe thunder will kick in, maybe like the latest thing I did was pick up Asylum Dirt, and I asked for a confirmation, and it took a while for the message to come through, a yes or a definite yes or a no. And I think that's just because of where I was and the kind of energy of that place. But then I had a pentacle carved into the ground, and in the center, I saw like centipedes crawling around. And I mean, to some people, that might come off as a no because they might be afraid of bugs or and get some type of fear or whatever the case is. And if that's what they feel, then that would be a no. But for me, when I saw it, it looked beautiful. It looked perfect. Like it looked like the bugs came out of the lines where I carved the pentagram or the pentacle, and it started like crawling over the sacred space, and it just looked like witchcraft, and it looked like the spirits of the place because of where I was. They're not the most friendly or sane spirits. They might come off in the form of like bugs or something, all over
Mhm.
my space, giving me permission to, and also looking forward to the offering I'm going to give. You know,
It's
it's
also confirmation that they're there.
exactly. And now this is where I also want to bring up too. A lot of discernment. You need a lot of discernment, and the best way to have that is when it comes to necromancy, spirit communication. How do you use spirit communication? What ability do you have to tap into for spirit work? But your psychic abilities, your clairsentience, your clairaudience, clairvoyance, whatever the case is. You have to work on your psychic abilities to communicate with the other side and other entities.
Hmm.
So if a lot of everybody has certain gifts or abilities and everybody is able to enhance their psychic abilities, everybody I've come to experience is usually have more strengths and weaknesses in certain abilities. It's rare when you meet someone who can do everything amazingly. You know what I mean? Um,
Hmm.
and whenever you find out what those particular abilities are for you and your strengths, work on those to tap into working with spirits and having discernment for not only their intentions with you and whether they speak truth or not, but make sure you're receiving the messages you need and that they are truthful, and that again, you get your permission to work with them, your permission to harvest from them, your permission for whatever. You also got to know when they're trying to creep in and follow you wherever you're going. You got to be protected and know how. You got to be able to pick up on that energy, be able to be very sensitive to that.
I agree with everything you just said. You said it very well, nicely articulated.
Was it articulated very well?
That's the word of the day.
What was the word of the day yesterday?
Some crap I couldn't pronounce in Latin.
Wasn't it discernment? Oh, demure.
And the day before that was coy.
Yeah.
Neither one of us are coy.
Nope.
Okay, we're getting off topic. Okay, so.
Are we? Us?
Never. We're solid as a rock over here.
It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
It's very much a rock. Did you get the message I sent you? Because something you said jogged something in my head to want to bring that up.
Oh, girl, bring it up. You want me to bring it up?
No, I don't know if you want to talk about it now or later.
No, I'm talking about that now. Absolutely.
Okay, so another form of confirmation for me is physical touch, and this is going to go into the no means no part later tonight. But like in the house that I'm at now, it's very or it has a tendency to be very active, and a lot of people. Okay, here's where I'm weird. And I might not be the only one. And it could just be the way I practice or just me as an individual. Okay.
I mean, you are weird, but.
Oh, honey. Shh. Nobody knows. As we sit here talk about necromancy.
We're obviously it's not us.
It's not us. We didn't do it. No, we didn't.
Not us.
But physical contact for me from spirit is hot. It's not a cold breeze or like a whisper of a chill. It's like I can feel body heat walk behind me and there won't be any. When you said a touch of the hand or a touch of the shoulder, that's what reminded me of it.
Because a lot of the time, I mean, I find it more working with my spirits, because there's a difference between, and that's kind of the whole point when it comes to necromancy. Eventually, you're going to build up your own spiritual family and your spiritual team, which we will have a whole episode to discuss on. But we are going to, you've got to be kidding me. Mama, Madrina, remind me what the hell I was, you have to, you're going to, what? You're going to have your spiritual team? Oh, okay, yeah. My spirits specifically are the ones that don't look at me like that. That seem to touch me. Don't look at me like that.
I'm about to touch you if you don't stay focused. Damn it, man.
I'm sorry.
I can't even get my glasses back on. Jesus, I haven't even drank half the drink yet. My God.
Good.
No, you were going. You just went somewhere else.
I went somewhere else, but Madrina brought me back. It's okay. Listen. My spirits, my ancestors, they a lot of the times will touch me. Will put their hands on my hand on the shoulder, whatever the case is. All right. Do I need to change my words?
No.
Nobody's touching me, okay? I promise. I swear.
No means no. I can't hold it. Okay. Continue. I'm fine.
The drama. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Dundee. No.
Let him have his 2 cents.
Yeah, I don't get like he can have his 2 cents later. Right?
And he will.
Right.
Okay, so your spiritual team affects you by touch of hand, shoulder.
Stop. That's it. That's the line where the line draws. Nowhere else.
Is it cold or warm?
Sometimes both.
I was being serious.
Me too.
Oh shit. Stop it.
Wow. We're horrible.
Okay.
We're horrible. Okay.
We are normal.
So that's that. Physical contact. That scene from Scary Movie is popping in my mind right now.
What?
The scene from Scary Movie. If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't remember.
Where the ghost is doing something to her. A lot of physical contact, if you know what I mean. Be serious.
Continue.
That was. I mean, I think I didn't see the rest of the film.
Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
The scene. You know what I mean?
Exactly, Lady Witch. We all have that one. Anyway, so like I was saying,
Hey, that cut. I'm just gonna stop.
stop.
All right. What were you saying? Please tell me what you were saying.
I don't know. Um, Mine is body heat. I have never, except maybe one time, experienced cold. Like,
Really?
yeah, mine's more heat.
Okay. See, I get it. Depends. Mine's both because there was one time I was working with a Ouija board and a couple of people at an abandoned place, and we were
No,
in the
you weren't
middle
asking for
of.
trouble.
Huh?
You weren't asking for trouble at all. A couple of people.
Actually, to tell you the truth, there's a whole like that story actually goes into fucked up details, which I can like not necessarily. Okay, let me not scare everybody, but like I don't know if I should talk about it on here.
We don't. That can be a whole nother video. It sounds like.
But basically, before other spirits were involved, my spirit guide was involved at the time, and the skeptic was really being skeptic at the time. He was like, I don't really know about it, and I was like, okay, if I ask my spirit guide to bring in a cold wind, would you believe it, right? And he was like, yeah, it's the middle of summer, we're in the middle of a fucking hotel, like we're nowhere outside or anywhere where there's fucking windows or doors. So in the middle of this room, I asked my spirit guide, who we were talking to at the time, to bring in a cold front. And maybe that's because I specifically asked for a cold, or maybe I didn't, or just asked this, or I asked maybe, I don't know, for him to be known. But what happened was a giant cold breeze blew in, and it convinced him immediately. Because, the Ouija board went to yes, and then the wind blew.
I mean, anything happens involving a Ouija. Like, if you ask for a sign and you get your sign, I'm out. Bye.
I will say, after that, when there was other spirits involved, it's because I might have used a giant mirror, as yeah, and then something came, and it was.
Was it good night?
We left. We left. We said fuck it. We tried to smash the mirror, and it
What?
Well, it wouldn't smash, so we ran out.
Okay. Why would you?
We ran out.
Why did you want? You can't. Okay. It came in.
We wanted to smash it in case.
Where did you want it to go?
Well, we wanted to smash it in case anything else wanted to come out.
Why don't you just do your witch shit and
I
put it
didn't know. It immediately went. No, because because it knew what the fuck, because we were doing witch shit. Okay, there was a whole circle right there, but there was a break from portal to circle, so it came out, saw what the fuck we were doing, and ran into the building.
Oh my god!
And it was big and black.
And what did we learn?
Not
a goddamn thing.
Don't do that again.
Right. We don't do that.
But we couldn't even smash the mirror.
Do you at least flip it upside down?
It was bolted into the wall.
You did left that detail out.
Well, that's also why we couldn't smash it.
Yeah.
Got the thing.
Yeah, exactly. He did the thing and got the thing. And guess what? That stupid thing's probably still running around.
I'm sure it is. I don't know where it is. I don't don't even remember where that building is. Don't want to know. I'm so good. I don't know what it was, but it didn't want to.
I can tell you what it was. It was a demon. It was a demon.
Well, I'm never going back there.
Oh, you ninny. I swear.
It ran as soon as we all saw it too, and that was the scariest part. And we all immediately was break the mirror, break the mirror.
Okay, so this is a lesson to always carry a can of black spray paint with you.
Well, hold on. The black spray paint was how we created the portal, but
fucking done. I'm fucking done with you. Remember how I was telling you earlier? Sometimes you feel so much smarter than me. I swear to God. I swear to God, I take it back. I take it back.
Okay, this I will preference was years ago. The Cauldron Witch now would never do that.
Of course not. Because the Cauldron Witch I know would never do that. On purpose.
However, the old Cauldron Witch, the young Cauldron Witch, has probably unleashed a demon out in some abandoned building somewhere.
Lady Witch said, we're aghast.
We're aghast.
We are.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Will the Witches' Council forgive a learning witch?
No, not without a toll being paid.
A toll? What do you want? Have you seen
Your soul?
Have you seen
Your soul?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
Oh yeah. It's that show you basically can't stand, right? Because of fucking
Dylan.
Oh my God, whatever. There's a fucking scene where they're talking. I can't even. All right, next.
No, I'm not gonna get it. So, but they might. Do you watch Sunny?
I mean, it's a very inappropriate joke.
Oh, then never mind. Yeah, let's not. not.
No, my soul is not up for sale.
Who said anything about stealing it? I mean, selling it.
I'm sorry, you're gonna what? That's how it works, guys. Rein her up. Witches' Council is on you now.
The fuck it is.
The betrayal in the witch community.
What? Wait a minute, aren't we?
You're feeling cold? What?
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 For the portal?
No. Is it hot in
here? Yeah. I mean, I'm in the room. Of course it is.
Oh my God, I can't deal with you.
Immediate napkin drop. You know what? All of a sudden, I'm cold.
I'm very cold. I'm feeling a cold breeze right now.
I swear to God, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Okay, so
I guess. So yeah. But we should, me and you, definitely go spirit seeking one day.
Yeah.
And bring the black spray paint, not for conjuring portals, but for other things.
I'm gonna have to carry the spray paint to make sure we're safe. I don't trust you with spray paint anymore. Roland. Well, we know he's still
He's
paying
present.
attention.
He's present.
He's present. Rowan's ghost. Acting amok. Running amok.
Oh my goodness.
I need to
Yeah.
change his name to Rowan's ghost.
Yeah, for real. I wish I could do that.
It's just spirits gathered around to say, what? Along with you, April. Exactly. Exactly.
Even that was loud.
That was
All
like,
right.
hello.
The spirits even mad at me. Whisper in the. He acts more a menace in the comments. Damn, someone needs to moderate you.
Okay. What was the other topic? We got to get off things.
I don't even know anymore after being judged for my mishaps.
I wasn't judging.
That demon is still running amok.
Mm.
And I don't even know if we ever closed the portal. I just remember running out.
If you didn't go back, then you didn't close it.
Yeah.
So you just setting shit free left and right now. You're the reason why there's so much activity.
No. I'm just part of the reason. There's a lot of other people like me, trust me.
No, I know. I know. Okay, so
don't do that. So how do you know, if someone's evil or not?
if someone's evil or if a spirit's evil.
Like a spirit is harmful to you. Not evil, but like is not of the better sorts.
Okay, so let's get more specific.
Ah.
How do you know when you have a negative spirit around you in general? Before it starts wreaking havoc in your life, is there a way to detect it?
I mean, okay. I can tell you how we can in this house, but that's because we have a lot of precautions to even warn us before anything goes haywire.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see some shit. We'll feel some shit, have dreams of some shit. Like something will happen to let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Something's
And how do you
going
go
on.
about setting that up?
You have to be very specific and intricate in your protections and in your wards. I live
Physical or psychic?
psychic. I live in a very psychic active location where it is the home of many spirits of many different types and kinds. So I have my words where certain spirits are allowed in, others are not. So I need to make sure when things are getting weak, when things are getting low, when things are entering, when things are here that are good and are supposed to be here or want to be here for the right reasons, or the opposite.
Okay. Do
What about
you do
you?
that? Oh, for me? Honestly? Okay. Are we being transparent? You want to be transparent? They don't really ever bother me as much as they bother everybody else in my household. And I don't know if that's, I mean, I can come up with theories of why that is, but like, so the night that we were on the phone and the TV was off so I could see the reflection behind me into the hallway.
Yeah.
And it kept playing peekaboo.
Yeah.
Now, that one I wouldn't denote as like necessarily like an evil thing, but it was happening at the same time that the thing upstairs did that scared Alan and Alex. That was like 2 days apart from each other. But the one that was playing peekaboo, I think was just trying to get my attention like, yo, some shit's off.
Mhm.
Because I feel like that's the same guy that mimics Alex. And I say mimic knowing that that's not a good sign. But let me explain later about that and why it's a little bit different in this case. Because he's considered the protector of the space. And I guess that plays into what your question was, is how do I know? Is that spiritual army that we were talking about. That would be one of mine. Now, I say that also to say I'm not really sure who that is in my life or who that was in my life or if it was even attached to me in life.
Not you're not always gonna know exactly the role and how you have the relations. And I'll be real, that honest to God don't matter. What matters why is the relations you have now and why you have them.
Right. And that is his role so far. Um and I think that's like hindsight, looking back on how things played out over those couple days. I think that was him trying to be like, yo, there's some shit going on that you really need to handle, but like, I don't know what to do to get your attention to do it, but I'm going to get your attention. I'm going to draw your attention into the house, you know. But for Alex, it scared the shit out of him. It didn't do anything to him physically, but the presence that he saw gave him a feeling of fright and fear. So that's negative. Alan, you know, it always, for whatever reason, it gets him in his sleep. So because he's very vulnerable.
He's very sensitive, yeah.
Yeah.
When people are asleep, they're vulnerable and they're in their weakest state.
Right. Most people.
Yeah.
Not some of us. It's actually like time to thrive.
Actually, we're very active.
Right. So,
and that too, you're not gonna, if you're scared of it, if it's something benevolent, you wouldn't get that energy. You wouldn't get that feeling. You would feel maybe some type of comfort, some type of protection vibe, some type, whatever the case was. Like when you saw that spirit, you told me about it, and you weren't scared by it. You literally said, like, it's just one of the spirit. I think you said it was probably that specific spirit.
I think so.
And you just didn't know why it was doing it.
Yeah, because he's pretty consistent with, like, after being here about a year or two. He was okay, twin. Yeah, time.
I didn't realize.
He's been, after the first couple years, he's been very consistent with his interactions with us. It's always, it revolves around certain actions or conversations or whatever, and his methods are very consistent. The peekaboo thing is what threw me, because he's never, to my knowledge, done that.
Hey yo. Sorry.
No, you're good. Is that a cat or a spirit?
Fundy and Phoebe. They're flirting,
Yeah, they love each other to death. But we've had a couple, like, I there's a couple here that I don't necessarily mind, but it's when new ones come in that are not awesome, that those two start being more of a nuisance in a sense and being more active. But it's normally because of something else going on. So and that's like spiritual or interpersonal relationships in the house.
Yeah.
Which is a whole thing. So, but that's kind of how I know. And the warmth, like, there's a lot of times, and it's happened at least once when we've been on the phone in the kitchen, because I feel like it does it in the kitchen more. It's like, when somebody scoots past you, but they're close enough to, you can feel the body heat.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. They're like scooting past me. And I can feel the heat, and then I'll turn thinking it's a literal somebody, and there's no one there.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay. But it's not a bad feeling. It's just like, oh, hey, here I am.
When I was at the asylum, I'm going to discuss, I think I had some type of form of pressure. When I was at the asylum, it makes me think about traps, and trapping people. But a lot of spirits were calling my name, and I kept seeing spirits like hiding behind trees or hiding behind like the buildings, and I would go over there, or just straight up walking around, and I would go over there. I was on the phone with you, nobody would be there. It was, they didn't give off any type of malicious intent. None of the spirits, for the most part, that I've interacted with or have had interactions with at this said asylum have been negative. I know they are there because I feel their presence, but they don't interact with me. I don't really interact with them unless I need
Mhm.
to.
Mhm.
Um, however, there is like, okay, going back to having spirits in our life that we don't even know how we have these relations with, but we just do. I didn't know I had a relationship with a spirit until, like, with this a particular spirit that goes by the name Tiffany, until I came home with a particular doll, and she immediately stepped forward and was like in trance and in love with this doll, and she was like, "This is my doll. Like I love her. I want her, and this is like my doll now." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Who are you?" Like, I don't know you, but the energy I have of her, she is part of. For some reason, I really know she's part of my team, and there's no. If she's worried about like, oh my god, I love this doll. Can I have this doll? I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna hurt me. Here's a doll, and she is super imbued with the doll. She actually this doll that she loves and she kind of uses as like her own little vessel has her own dolly, and you've seen right? Yeah, you've seen.
There's a
And
word for that though.
huh?
There's a word for that though.
There is.
Mhm.
What's that?
It's called a thruple. Yeah. I'm here all night.
All right, so I'm gonna bring Tiffany out here. You saying that to her face?
No.
See, you scared of Tiffany.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's scared of Tiffany.
I took-
Tiffany does give off that like what energy does she give off? Because I get the sweetness from
I'll fuck you up if you fuck with him.
her.
That's exactly the energy she gives off. Is
I,
that accurate?
I mean that's I get. I mean I get a very sweet energy. Or maybe I should look in my ancestry. Um, I mean, yeah, she definitely seems like a don't like a very like if shit were to go down, she'd be one of the first ones and one of the strongest ones to step up.
Yeah.
But again, it's usually the sweetest that you got to watch out for. You know what I mean?
Right, because I mean, of course, she's sweet to you because she loves you. She respects you. You show her the same respect. You love her and respect her and bring her things that she likes. So for her not to want to step up and be like, you got you got maybe two chances,
Right,
and then you're out. You know what I mean? Like she's very protective of you, which she should be. I would hope.
right. I mean, if you're gonna be part of my team,
Yeah.
please be protective of me.
Oh, yeah. Please help me.
Right? Don't let nothing bad happen to me, please.
But it's such an interesting dynamic between a human and a spirit or entity or whatever, which we hadn't even touched on entities yet, and we got 7 minutes and some seconds before we've hit an hour already. I will behave the rest of the time.
The eyes down. So yeah, you want to actually go into that? Like, okay, because all right, and this is also going into knowing and deciphering different spirits, right, and having discernment because you okay, when it comes to the world of spirit in my craft and in my personal practice, spirit does not limit to just the spirit of a dead human or animal. The spirit goes into every entity that is living, whether it is a demon, angel, god, elemental, jinn, whatever the case is, all these different spirits, spirits of the dead, spirits of the land, all of these, they're all one thing that's common is their spirits. So now, how do you know when you're working with different spirits? I guess you gotta definitely know, like, if you're gonna have a fascination towards different spirits, you gotta do your own kind of research on them, who you want to work with, and why you're working with them, and the
Hmm.
respects to working with them. But yeah.
You sound like you were gonna keep going.
I know. I don't know where I was gonna go with that. I did that like twice now,
Yeah.
but that's just tonight. That's every
But okay, so to play off that a little bit,
Please.
how how would you decide what's like how would you discern between an entity that is no longer or wasn't what we consider human versus the human variety or the angel variety or the demon variety? How would you figure what's your process?
So, okay, let me explain in a sense in my latest experience.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, I'm also trying to download my family tree to see if I have a Tiffany anywhere up here. But that's
Well, that'd
also,
be that'd be really cool.
but that's for future use as long as I just have it. So, my a good friend of mine, who is a witch, wanted to explore these tunnels that she knows have spirits in them, but she says they feel very unfamiliar to her. So we ended up going there and checking it out, and I can just feel by the aura. And so, how do I say this? I feel I have second sight, so I can see what they look like. I can feel what they feel like. I can feel their aura. I can feel their energy. I can see them. I can even hear what they're sounding like. I know it's an otherworldly entity when I go in there and I recognize nothing, recognize none of the sounds, recognize none of the visions, recognize none of the energy. The energy feels very off, feels very confusing, feels very cold, or a very just intense, but maybe it's just a very intense heat, something very extreme. And something very what's the word for it?
Can I ask a question that might jog your memory?
Hmm.
Chaos.
Yes, very chaotic. Like again, like think about the cosmos and how everything comes from chaos, right? Or everything comes from darkness. Everything comes from nothingness. You
Hmm.
get that kind of feeling from otherworldly entities become because they come from different places of the darkness, different places of the void, different places of the hollow, the chaos, whatever the case is.
Do you think that how do I word it? Okay, so let's talk about planes, not airplanes, but planes of existence. Certain planes of existence feel
Yeah,
very distinctive.
shooting star.
Okay, that's true. Keep singing. Come
No,
on.
I can't. We're gonna get fucking flagged.
Oh yeah, that's true. Um, but different planes of existence where different entities linger. Is that the right word? Hover, linger.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yeah.
Um, that energy field in that area is very different than what we have here on Earth, on this plane, in our dimension, in our realm, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like it's very recognizable to know when something is not from here. To somebody attuned to recognize energy. If you can't read a room when you walk into it, know instantly who's
Mind
fighting
you,
with who's having a bad day. Like you might not pick up on anything.
no,
But it's
mind
like
you, my friend who the reason she said the spirits felt very unfamiliar to her was because she's used all her life. She's used to working with spirits of the dead, those who have lived in physical earthly lives and have passed on. She's been surrounded by those types of spirits, not so much otherworldly entities where because of where I live, it's very much like a portal where not just spirits of the dead live here and reside here. And in my practice, I don't just work with spirits of the dead. So I have, like you said, a very accustomed attunement to that sort of thing. That's why I was able to pick up and recognize that sort of energy.
mhm.
Things from Earth and of Earth, they have a very recognizable understanding type of energy where where you feel their anger, you feel their sadness, you see their memories, whatever the case is. You taste these tastes, smell these smells, but they're things from here. You know what I mean? Not to cut you off.
No, no, you went exactly where I was going, so that's fine.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you were totally in the same car I was. So, That's
Wait,
exactly what I wanted to say. Like it's recognizable because it's familiar to a point. Like, but if you can't recognize regular things in our realm, energy fields, auras, stuff like that, which not everybody can do the aura thing, but energy, like we all feel energy. It's just recognizing it. Some of us just aren't tapped in enough to do that. I think if you work with it, you get used to it. But we have people walking around that don't know how to talk to each other, so them feeling energy is not gonna happen. But it's something you have to fucking sorry, freaking moon.
okay, what are you? Did you just say fricking on my channel? Did you
Flicking.
forget where you were?
I
Did you
just
forget where you were?
yes.
Forget where you were? Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck
I'm
that.
I'm just trying to be mindful of manners and.
Mindful, demure.
Oh my
Shut
god,
up.
we're not in the car anymore. All right.
No, we're not. I kicked you out. We're on the bridge. I kicked you out.
It had to be a bridge.
Well, I was driving, so obviously it was the bridge because I'm not driving anywhere else. You won't let me.
That's true.
I know.
Why you gotta keep me out on the bridge? Why can't it be like after or before? Why I gotta think about bridges. That's hurtful. My feelings are hurt. I'm offended.
You fit in with the newer generations.
Oh, I'm fuck you up. I'm gonna get you. I swear to God.
There I got once I say,
You're not gonna have a chance to throw a punch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. He would never hit me in real life.
No, I wouldn't. You're right. I mean, did we actually disclose that? Yeah, sure. Yeah, for the courts, I will never hit her in real life. Absolutely, on on the honors of yeah.
Raise your left hand. It's right hand, damn it. It's supposed to be right hand. That was a trick. We're all going to go to jail if they have to depend on
I
you.
did raise my right hand.
Well, okay, I can't.
Right.
I'm dyslexic, so to me it looks.
But I did right because I thought it was actually left.
No, it's right. Raise your right hand on the Bible. Why did we go here? Anyway.
Because I was going to say Christ. That's why.
Oh. Shameful.
How about God?
Well, I ain't saying nothing on. You're not gonna get me with that crap on live.
I love necromancy. Let's talk about that.
What?
Let's talk about that. Or even in the Bible, necromancy.
Oh, all over the Bible, necromancy. Necromancy all over that thing.
Hello. Working with saints.
Raising the dead?
Communion with spirits.
Raising the dead?
Working with witchcraft and bidding.
Raising the dead?
Okay, you say raising the dead one more time.
I'm just saying, like, I can't do that. That's some spicy stuff. That's all in the Bible. Just
Raising
people
the dead.
going down and then coming back. Like, I can't. No disrespect. That's that's a level I hadn't reached yet. I'm not a god.
Spell.
Huh?
I need that spell.
For real.
Yeah.
So what's next? Is this an hour and 3 minutes long? I do believe we covered everything though, didn't we?
Did we?
I feel like I mean you have the notes.
Well, I mean in the notes, yeah, we covered everything a long time ago. This was just
Oh.
Yeah.
Just chit-chatting.
Yep. We were going on different things I didn't think of.
Yeah, and I didn't either.
Yeah.
So that's good. And we have so many more episodes.
Always be respectful, but we're gonna get into all that because the next episode I don't know what it'll be on yet. We have to go through our lists here. We have a big list.
We do, and we're setting up a schedule. We're trying to set up a schedule.
Yes. With that being said, catch us guys this Wednesday
Yes, this Wednesday, the 21st.
on Crescent's channel. We're going to be discussing
You have the notes. I was at work when we discussed it. I'm sorry.
magical.
Oh, magical mud pies. I love it. Magical mud pies. And that was a request for information or more information on different workings with dirts.
Mhm. So
And
we're
it's
going to go into that. That'll be a new series. I think that's.
it's like series number 5 that we've started.
That's a I think a 5-episode series.
That's not bad. That's not bad. It's
So
probably
we're going to hop back and forth. The first episode will be on Crescent's, second will be on mine, third will be on hers, so
Yeah.
on and so on.
and we're trying to get better about alerting and enough time for people to actually join us and be here tonight or at that night, whatever night. Anything else?
No, that is all. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of Necromancy. We will discuss more in the future. When is our next episode? Is that next Sunday?
Yes, possibly tentatively. I feel like
Maybe. Possibly, maybe so. But you will see a second episode here on our channel. So
Yeah.
have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Bye, bye.